Good morning, everybody, and this is your Dow Jones day trade setups for today. So yet another green bar, and we've had three in a row. Really messy, and also big, smaller, so kind of structured, kind of also not structured with when you start looking at it. We are on the daily at the moment, so there's no real conviction as to what's going on. And oscillators are pointing to the upside, so should be expecting a bit more of a move to the upside. We have broken a trend line as well. Is it enough? I have no idea right now. It's really messy. So when you start looking at it, for example, on the 8 hour, you can see oscillators are grouping to the upside, range bar, another range bar, and no real direction. Trend is down, that is pretty much sure. So we should be looking for opportunities for shorts, but now there's a lot of bullish patterns here as well. So I want to see a rejection up here before considering shorts at 32,461. But that short would probably be back down to test the trend line. So one thing you need to remember is, even though you've broken a trend line, doesn't necessarily mean that price has reversed. You need to wait for the confirmation, and the confirmation is a retest of the break. So if that doesn't happen, then you have a strong possibility that it just continues in the direction it was going, because that was where the strength was. So the strength is to the downside, and price action is always going to follow the path of least resistance, which would be down. So at the moment, this is looking like a wedge that's forming, but we start looking at the lower time frames. If you look at it on the 3 hour, the weekly, we still got a gap up here for the week, and it is sort of open our low and on our high at the moment. So it's a weekly green bar right now if you look at it, and it's a weekly green inside bar. Look at my oscillators grouping quite nicely to the downside. So there's a lot going on here which is indicating potential setups for the bulls. Nothing concrete, but definitely a lot starting to brew. Now if we look at the hour, we got a break of the trend line, and we got a retest of it, and then we also got a retest of the moving averages, which is the 155 here. So there's a lot there which is indicating we have potential for a move to the upside, but then we have this divergence forming. So I'd like to see a retest of this area here, 31,965, and then I'm looking for 32,461. So on the hour, that is the trade we're looking for, is a little move to the upside. If we drop down to the 15 minutes, if it's as messy as what it was yesterday, then this is not something which I'd like to get involved in. Now the other thing here on the 15 minute is you've got this break here, which is where we are now. Look at the oscillators grouping quite nicely to the downside. So that is definitely something that's on the cards. And here was the noise coming from the Fed minutes, was these few bars here. So you could argue the market kind of liked what it saw, but I'm not convinced. So anyway, these are the two areas to pay attention to. If we start finding support on 32,085 or 31,965, then we are looking for a move up to 32,461. And I think that's pretty much the move. If we start dropping below these, I'm still not convinced that we're going to drop. So I'd probably see buyers come in off the bottom here, off this 31,700 area. But if we start dropping below the low of yesterday, that's a different kettle of fish, because quite a lot of support here. There was resistance and support, so now if we've dropped below that, we're back into the back below the trend line, and then that also validates what is looking like a wedge. If you draw a line along there and you draw a line on the bottom, that is your wedge. And look what happened last time, fell like a stone. Consolidate, fall like a stone. So that's kind of the two scenarios at the moment. It's at a tipping point. There's nothing indicating we need to be short, and there's nothing indicating we need to be long just yet. There's just pure confusion. Big up, big down, big up, big down. So that's my outlook for today. Really watching these two levels. If we do find a base there, there's definitely an opportunity for a long. If we'd fail, then I'd be looking for a break below yesterday's low, or even a sort of a pullback into this area, and then another pullback up to come and test one of the breaks and start rejecting one of these two levels higher up, that would also trigger a short. Okay, that kind of me for today. Hope it helps. Probably more confusion today, so be patient. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.